I remember one night sitting on the sideline of soccer, playing more with the Premier League clubs here in Australia um, as a junior. And I remember he saying, "You look cold," and I was shaking. I said, "It's freezing." He goes, "You're not running hard enough."
Yeah, right.
And go out the park, left foot 1,000 times, right foot 1,000 times. I truly believe if I hadn't taken that path, I would have done something really well, more so with soccer than anything.
Yeah.
And even then, it wasn't that big. Johnny Warren was the only one in our country, realistically. And I went to his camp, and I went through all these academies and all of the above. But to me, he just built that oomph in me, and
Right.
I think as much as the dark side of that was, it also gave me some strengths as well. And I say this to everybody: when you look at abuse in any way, shape, or form, and you say, "What was the lesson that became a blessing in this invisible backpack?"
Mm.
I flipped the whole reality of that conversation. That perspective now becomes a positive one, a constructive one I can build from, rather than saying, "Oh, what a shit life and what happened to
Was
my
there
dad."
like abuse between parents at all, or was it more?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dad was, and no doubt that's why Mum ran for it. Mum was a very peaceful person. I don't know how much she might have stirred him up. I was too young to know. And she was dealing with trauma of the stolen generation with the Aboriginal side. So, between both of them, they're probably doing their best. But the crossover of his anger and emotions, that became all of me. But also, so did my mum's peace side. So you had
Mm.
the absolute, I think, the best form of inner peace and silence on one end, and
Mm.
then the violence on the other end. And in between, you had this head. If it was a circle, it had all squiggles in it all over, like confused, going, coming. What are we doing? Violence. Be
Mm.
peaceful. Like, make money. Don't do it bad. Do it bad. I have to do it bad. My mind was just, you look at it, and if you drew that analogy of that circle and just squiggles in it, and
It's
versus
almost.
someone who's at peace and there's nothing but calmness, there's nothing in that. Two totally different
I think
worlds.
because I had the same thing when I was a kid. It's almost like a ping pong ball in your head, trying to fucking not survive, but just trying to like manage the trauma that's happening to you at the
I
time.
call it, the old Christmas ball shaker,
Yeah,
and then all the snowflakes go up in the air, and
that's
that's
how I felt about it as well.
domestic violence, 13-year-old kids overdosing,
Mm.
wanting food tonight. Where am I going to sleep tonight? Like, 12 or 13-year-old kids shouldn't be thinking that. It should be safe, secure, and stable. Like
Yeah.
that, then those three are in amongst it. What's respect look like? How was I built? And what does a
So
good person look like?
yeah, so right,
Yeah.
so okay, so you're at that point, right? You're 12 or 13.
Yeah.
You've gone through this. You've had the violence between you and your dad. You've seen it between your old man and your mum.
Mm.
Your mum's doing her best to get by. You've just trying to fucking manage all this trauma, and then it's at that point that you kind of say, "Fuck this! I'm gonna bounce, and I'm gonna do the next thing that I'm gonna do."
Absolutely.
And this is where you go into the chapter of, all right, these blokes are making money.
Mm.
My house, I've got no food. I've got no security. I've got no peace. So I'm just going to go and do what they do.